What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday. This week's video, we're going to do something a little different, step away from the carpet pythons, and we're going to get into some Cribo breeding talk. So hang out with me, and I'm going to take you with me while we do some Cribo pairing. So, right up there is my female. She's a 2014 animal, I think. No, that's not right. She's a 2016 animal. Okay, so she's about 7 years old. My male is a 2013 animal, so he's about 10 years old. And if you're not familiar with these species, Drymarchon melanurus, they are the Costa Rican relatives of our eastern indigo snakes we have in the United States here. These guys are more of a gold front that fades to a black tail, and the males are actually larger than the females in this species, so we have some dimorphism there. And this girl has given me clutches a few times, but I've also never really had a great time hatching babies. I feel like I have a great understanding on when she's cycling. I can see her appetite change. I pound her full of food at the right time and she swells up, and I can kind of gauge her level of interest in breeding, where she's at in her cycle, when I do these intros and pairings with the male. I did a pairing the other day and she was over there instead of under her hide, which is flipped up so you guys can see her. And she wasn't running away, she wasn't tail rattling or anything like that, so she's getting close to being receptive, but the male was only like so interested. So what I'm going to do is hopefully pick up the male, show you guys him, introduce them, and maybe we'll see what happens, if anything. Chances are it'll just be another intro and we won't see anything, but I figured I'd just talk you through it anyway, and explain why this is a little bit of a nerve-wracking sort of species to pair. Alright, so this is my big boy. This is Bandit. Let's see if I can get him. He's a little darker than he normally is, as most snakes get during this time of year. Come on, buddy. And not being arboreal, these things are not graceful off the ground. He's no exception. He is about as clumsy off the ground as you can ask for. But I wanted to see if he is interested in his lady friend, and if she is interested in him. So we'll see. Oftentimes, if she is receptive and he's interested, we'll see a lot of head twitching like you see with monitors, and they'll start cruising in line with one another. He'll sort of be on top of her and line himself up, and they'll sort of do this like looping courtship sort of thing, where she moves into a way where she straightens out and positions himself where they can breed. And it's kind of interesting. If she wasn't interested in breeding at all, or say it was like a month earlier, she would be running away from him, tail rattling, the whole nine. But the reason why this is so nerve-wracking is because these snakes are ophiophagous, or they are also known for being snake eaters. And the first year I ever tried pairing them, I experienced that in a worst case scenario, and they tried to eat each other. Fortunately, my wife was home, was able to intervene long enough for me to run home from work and separate it, resolve the issue. But I'll throw up a photo here of what the female looked like after. She ended up taking the brunt of the damage and ended up, looking pretty bad, but was just fine. So, something you don't just pair them and walk away from. In fact, oftentimes I'll pair them for 15-20 minutes to gauge their level of interest, and then I'll pull the male. He's kind of leaving right now, which tells me she's not really cycling. She's also not running away, so she might just be like on her way. But he's been pacing around the enclosure. He wants out. He's been smelling her, picking up her pheromones, whatnot. So the more I pair, I'm hoping the more she moves along in her cycle and we'll get going. So see what happens. First lock of the season on camera. Look at that. Shoot, that was perfect timing. So I don't know if you guys see that. But he's courting her, he's putting on all the moves, positioning her in the right spot. Happily mistaken that I was wrong, thinking they wouldn't do anything. They're actively trying to breed right now. I don't know if you could see all that well, but that was exactly what I was talking about earlier. The male gets in line, starts putting moves on her, she starts lining up with him, they line up, and he starts doing all this undulating stuff with his muscles on her back and gets the tail in position, and that's all she wrote. So I'm actually going to leave them alone here for a little bit. Doors closed, they're good together. I'm not worried about them potentially trying to eat each other at this point. It's usually at the introductory stage. So yeah, that was a little insight into this year's Black Tail Cribo breeding. If I'm lucky, third time's a charm, and we'll get not only a healthy clutch this year, but hatch out some beautiful babies. That would be a nice experience for me to check off my list of things to accomplish. I would love to do that, and I'll take you guys with me along every stage, whether I'm successful or I fail again. So hopefully we'll see something different this year around. But that's going to do it for me this week. Much love to everybody who watched. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think about Black Tail Cribos. I know it's a little bit of a left field kind of switch from my carpet python normal content, but kind of love a little bit of everything. So with that, much love to Chris, Heli Guy Serpents. Go give him a shout out. My sponsors are amazing. Chris makes amazing, wonderful 3D printed stuff for his animals. If you need anything, go hit him up, Heli Guy Serpents on Instagram or heliguyserpents.com. He's running a discount, Riley 10 for 10% off if you want to go check that out. My other wonderful sponsors, Reptiles Express. They are the shipping gurus out there, so if you need to do any shipping, please go check them out. They've got code Riley50 going, which will get you a total of 50% off your shipping labels for up to 10 labels per customer. And their sister company, PremiumCrickets.com, has Riley15 going for checkout. So if you need some feeder bugs or some animals, things shipped to you, go give them a try and use that discount code to save you a little bit of money. Much love to all my patrons. Thank you guys, you're wonderful. Thank you for all your inspiration, video ideas, support, everything you guys do. The community growth is awesome. The Discord is fantastic. You guys are tons of fun. So if you ever are thinking about supporting the channel and want to join the community, look me up on patreon.com under Riley Jimson. Pretty easy to find. And last but certainly not least, got to give love to our folks over at USARK in USARK, Florida. They are the only legislative sort of group, or not legislative, I guess they're just folks like us, but they're the only organized body that works against, any legislation against keeping reptiles. So they fight for us. The least we can do is support them. Membership is a big deal, so if you're not a member, go join up today. And with that, I bid you adieu. I will see you next week on some more snake shenanigans here on the channel. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Later.